Hey guys, my name's Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and today I'm just going to be doing a slightly shorter, I hope, video than the last one, where I covered what 40k units can be used in 30k, and this time I'm going to do the same thing, and I said I was going to do it for Chaos kits, but actually I'm kind of doing the sort of 1.5, not part 2, because I'm going to do the Custodes. Now, the Custodes are an interesting army. They have quite a limited amount of units, and a lot of their units are Forge World based, which means they're very expensive and they're often out of people's reach. They simply cannot afford to buy, 3 models for £90 or something stupid like that. So, a lot of these are not correct. However, a lot of these can pass for the different units with a little bit of conversion work, and also your opponent not being a colossal dick. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start up with the troops. Sorry. So the troops choices we have here are I've only got the 2 of them here, but basically this is your basic custodian guard squad that you can buy from Games Workshop for about £40. They list it about 4 times on their website, and like Vexillus Praetor, Shield Captain, Custodian Guard Squad, all sorts. They're all the same kit. They are all the options are in there to make all of those things. And pardon me. Oh, pretty bad indigestion. Basically, this can be your Custodian Guard Squad. This can also probably be your Custodian Guard Squad with the Sentinel Guard Squad, who are running swords and shields, not the pole axes or whatever, pole arms they've got, the Guardian Spears. So these guys are pretty much 1-for-1 straight over from 40k, which is absolutely great. There is nothing you need to do to change their appearance, because these are the same guys that were running around 10,000 years ago, quite literally. Next up we have our elites choice. Now for the elites there are a few options from the 30k army list, and you have Aquilon Terminators, the Contemptor Achilles Dreadnought, and the Heterian Guard Squad. Now the Aquilian Terminators are really expensive, but Forge World has a Terminator squad, which is Terminators in Alaris Terminator armour, so it's a slightly different model. Think of it like Cataphracti or and Tartarus or Indomitus plate. However, visually they might be different. They are Terminators, and they come in units of 3, which so do the Alaris Terminators. So there is nothing there that really says that they can't represent them. They come with the same sort of weapons, Power Gauntlet and Stormbolters, so they need a little bit of conversion work. However, I'm pretty sure that, everyone's got leftover Tartarus, power arm, power fists, and then combi bolter arms. And those would fit. Those would absolutely fit. They also do come with like bolter arms, a bit like the Blood Angel Sanguinary Guard. And as you know, I absolutely despise wrist-mounted bolters. So you can swap those out. I would just swap them out for Cataphracti, because they've got the same little arm turrets in place. Swap them out for some Cataphracti gear, and you'll be absolutely good to go. You can also give them all sorts of power weapons, Guardian Spears, Guardian Axes, special Adrastite Spears, Solarite Power Gauntlets, Swords, Shields, Paragon Blades, the works. Or they can even have like their own version of Lightning Claws. So really, throw in anything you can get that can go on a Terminator into these guys and you're absolutely fine. The Contemptor Achilles and the Hetarian Guard, I think it is. Pardon me. Hetarian Guard are a power armour-ish. The non-Terminator Custode. So for those, I wouldn't particularly use the classic Custodes. I would go for the other version in Power Armor, which is, where are they? What are they called? The Custodian Wardens. Yeah, the Wardens, which are the slightly nicer. They've got like cloaks or sort of half cloaks going on, and they're just slightly nicer models. So they're the ones I would use for depicting things like the Hetarian Guard, because again they can have all sorts of weird and wonderful weapons, so you can just trade them out to everything, and you know, give them all sorts of things. I do apologise, I made a mistake. It's not the Terminators who can have all sorts of goodies, it's these guys. So yeah, you know, go a bit mad, give them some funky weapons, kitbash the crap out of them. That's what I would do. Try to keep their really cool helmets. In fact, the Warden helmets are hands down better helmets than anything that comes in the store in the normal guard kit. They look just so much better. Sentinel Guard and Custodian Guard, they're exactly the same thing. Fast attack. So fast attack is nice and simple. You have jet bikes. Now the jet bikes in 40k are the Dawn Eagle jet bikes, and the 30k ones are, oh, I can't remember what they called. Forge World. You'd think I'd have Forge World's page open and all this memorised by now, but I really don't. Armies of the Imperium, Legio Custodes, and it's in Dutch for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, so the Terminators are £62.50 for 3 models, which is almost double the price of the normal one. The Griff Falcon pattern jet bike is £45 for a single model. £45 for a single model versus £37.50 for 3. I would have no problem with you running the 40k ones. I don't think anyone's going to have problems with you running the 40k ones. They're very nice models, nice and easy to put together. They've got spears. Yeah, they're, you know, unless you go to a tournament and they're getting really arsey about it. And to be fair, the jet bike's similar to the new Marine one, so you might as well, you could get away with using those, the Sky Hunters, and putting a Custodian crew on it. So let's move on to the HQ. So there's 2 entries here I've got for the HQ. Now the first one is Trajan Valoris, who would fit for any sort of Custodes Tribune or Shield Captain. He looks absolutely fine. You could throw a helmet on there, maybe get rid of the feathers, change out his weapon, but he makes a good base for it. As does the Blade Champion. Now the problem is both of these generally are out of stock all the time. They are absolutely fine to use. I would swap out the helmets again for the Warden's helmets, just because I think the Warden helmets look better. But they are 100% okay and not a problem. The second one is the Black Library Talons of the Emperor Valerian and Aleia model. It's a limited Black Library special models. He's absolutely fine to use in a Custodes army. She's absolutely fine to use in a Sisters of Silence army. Don't have to use them as the characters who they are. You can just throw helmet on him and swap out his weapons, just use them as a base body, that sort of thing. I thought I'd mention it because they're on there, so they're absolutely fine to use. The combat patrol for the adeptus Custodes, I'm not going to show it on screen, is fine to use because it comes with 2 units of Sisters, which are era appropriate, 3 jet bikes, and then 5 normal Custodes. So yeah, all in all, really the only things you can't use are the Land Raider and the Rhino, and that's it. I should have done it the other way around. What can't you use? The Land Raider and the Rhino, which is disappointing because I think it'd be cool to see Custodes having Rhinos and Land Raiders. There is some great art of the Sisters of Silence with a Grav Rhino, and I'd love to have those. The Dreadnoughts, I don't believe they can take a regular Contemptor anymore. And the Contemptor Aurelius, or whatever it is, what is it? Contemptor Achilles. That is not a standard Contemptor, that is a specific Forge World Contemptor, and it doesn't just port straight over. They are quite different, as is things like the Contemptor Galatus or Galatus, which is the big sword and shield one. Very nice model, very pretty, very expensive. The Telemon looks great. Love to get a Telemon at some point. I am seriously contemplating a Custodes army at some point. I have a new method for painting gold I want to try out, and I really, really want to try it, and I think it's going to look amazing. But I'm not buying anything new from Games Workshop, and I have more than enough models to paint at the moment, so once I've finished my Age of Darkness box sets, then I shall consider doing this. So, that's it. Nice short one. 11 minutes so far, 11 and a half minutes. I hope that explains it. So the Custodes, yeah, you're pretty much good to go with everything that's on their page on 40k, except the vehicles. Well, just the tanks. Thank you for voting in the poll for the Dreadnought if you voted. I appreciate that. The Night Lords won, and I have built a Night Lords Contemptor who is very spiky. I got to use some of the Zinj Industries rivets in there, which are absolutely fantastic. If you are looking at doing Mark V Heresy armour or anything with bonding studs, their rivets are fantastic. I've always wanted. If I had these back in 4th edition, when we were all building pre-Heresy armies, I would have been rivet mad. So that's it. That's me. My name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. Hit the buttons. Any of them you want, I don't mind. Hit subscribe if you'd like to see any more videos from me. And I hope I'm doing what you want. Alright guys, you have a great evening. Bye bye.